Hello and welcome to Gypsy Kiss. I'm Shelley Carney. Tonight I'll be talking a little bit more about important words, and the word we're going to focus on is halt. And I'll start that in just a moment. Okay, here we are. So let's get started with, of course, the poem, Begin It Where Warm Waters Halt. Now, a lot of these quotes I've already used as warm waters quotes because Forrest Fenn doesn't say the word halt very often unless it's in the phrase where warm waters halt. So you'll be hearing that a lot. In The Thrill of the Chase, it is also included on page 70 in the lyrics Stout-Hearted Men, and which go, you'll see it there. It says, then there's nothing in the world can halt or mar a plan when stout-hearted men can stick together man to man. So in that case, it is used because it's in the lyrics, but it does kind of inform us where he maybe gets the idea of the word halt from. In Too Far to Walk, page 181, he writes, when Beowulf halted about 2 feet behind the candidate's pants and opened his spacious mouth, the crowd finally erupted with frenzied cries of warning. It's a very poetic and descriptive piece of prose there, but he uses the word halted, basically meaning he stopped 2 feet away from somebody and opened his mouth. March 4th, 2013, as it happens, CBC Radio, quote, and you have to know where warm waters halt. So you have to know where it halts. So halting is a place that we need to know where it happens. Okay. April 3rd, 2013, New Zealand Radio. The first clue in the poem is begin it where warm waters halt. That's the first clue. If you can't figure that clue out, you don't have anything. We really want to remember that whenever we're putting together a search theory, that if we don't have the first clue, we don't have anything. So that's the most important piece to figure out. May 2014, Dale Neitzel's blog, Scrapbook 68. Many searchers have thought that warm waters halt at a dam because water being released through flues near the bottom of the dam is much colder than water on the surface of the lake. He continues on, so to level the playing field, to give everyone an equal chance, I will say now that where warm waters halt is not related to any dam. So again, that's just recalling the phrase warm waters halt, not using it specifically by itself. Then we move on to July 2nd, 2014, Mysterious Writings. The question is, do you think that someone who is sure about the location of the home of Brown could reverse engineer where warm waters halt? And he answers, if you are sure about the location of home of Brown, why are you concerned about where warm waters halt? But to answer your question, sure you could, and a few searchers might throw in some gas money for a percentage of the take. Good luck. So again, using where warm waters halt as a phrase rather than using the word individually. Let's see, July 8th, 2014, Mysterious Writings. A few weeks after they told me I was critically ill, I wanted to strike out at the tradition that proclaims when a man dies, all of his spiritual being halts. This and the one from Too Far to Walk, when Beowulf halted about 2 feet behind the candidate's pants. And these are really the only two I could find where it isn't included, where halt is used individually without being included in the phrase where warm waters halt. So I really want to focus on those two the most. This one When a man dies, all of his spiritual being halts. It stops, it ends. So we're being informed what this word means to Forrest Fenn when he uses it individually like that. August 12th, 2014, Mysterious Writings. There are a few words in the poem that are not useful in finding the treasure, Phil, but it is risky to discount any of them. You oversimplify the clues. There are many places in the Rocky Mountains where warm waters halt, and nearly all of them are north of Santa Fe. Look at the big picture. There are no shortcuts. Again, where warm waters halt is used as a phrase and part of the big picture. Moving forward to July 5th, 2016, New York Times. This is from the interview with Forrest Fenn, and the audio was provided by Cynthia Meacham on her video that she posted February 3rd, 2020. And he says to the reporter, "Did you ask her to show you the warm water?" She answers, "No, I didn't touch the water." He says, "See there, she wanted to find the blaze, so she manufactured a place where the warm waters halt." So it's kind of the same phrase, where the warm waters halt, right? Where warm waters halt. There's no warm water under that bridge, I promise you. He's referring to the Condillo Bridge on the Santa Cruz River. But she banked it in. You see how that works? I could take you out in my yard and show you 50 blazes, but it's not going to help you find that treasure because you don't know where warm water halts. You cannot back it in. It doesn't work like that. And she said, "But what if you think that you've found where the warm waters halt?" And he replies, "Therein lies the puzzle." So again, figuring out what exactly he means by where warm waters halt is the answer to this puzzle. When we have that, and we can narrow it down to one particular place in the Rocky Mountains north of Santa Fe, then we'll be on the right track. Next, I am going to share with you the dictionary definition and synonyms of the word halt, because he says to us to look them up in the dictionary. All the words are important, all the nouns are important. But in this case, I believe this is being used as a verb. Halt means to bring or come to an abrupt stop. When used as a noun, it is a suspension of movement or activity, typically a temporary one. A halt. Archaically, it could mean lame or walk with a limp. They don't really use that much anymore unless it was in a book and you were seeing the words, "He walked haltingly." That's about the only time we'd see that. Now, a halt can also be something used in railway parlance, which is a small railway station which may not have a platform and trains may only stop on request. The distinction between a halt and a station is that a railway halt is usually smaller than a station. In North America, to flag or request stops requested stops are typically mapped as halts. In German-speaking countries, stations without points or switches where only passenger trains stop are tagged as halt. A halt in the Commonwealth of Nations and Republic of Ireland is a small station, usually unstaffed or with very few staff and with few or no facilities. So if you're using it as in the train parlance, railway parlance, it is a small station where trains will stop briefly, let off passengers, get passengers on, but there's no real facilities there for people to like a station house or something like that at a halt. The synonyms for the word halt are to cease, stop, finish, discontinue, terminate, conclude, come to an end, come to a halt, come to a stop, draw to a close, come to a standstill, be over, be abandoned, pause, be broken off, be suspended. Again, you see the first word here is cease. That word is also in the poem, so it is a callback. Look quickly down your quest to cease and where warm waters halt. Sort of a callback there because they both have the same meaning. They're synonyms of each other. When it comes to the train station being a halt, it's definitely a possibility, but if you look at the way that Forrest Fenn uses the word halt when it's used by itself individually, he's using it in a way that means to stop, stop being. When a man dies, his spiritual being halts. Beowulf halted about 2 feet behind the candidate. So means for him, for Forrest Fenn, when he uses this word individually, it means to stop. And I have not found anything where he uses it in the sense of a train stopping related to a railway halt. It doesn't rule it out. It just means I haven't found it, and he doesn't refer to it in a place where it's easy to find. So take that as you will. Personally, I think it's got to be used as a phrase because that's the way he uses it the most often, where warm waters halt. And when you put it all together as a phrase, it becomes a metaphor. What that metaphor means is what we need to figure out in order to have the first clue and be able to start that treasure search. So get in your car and go to where warm waters halt, right? Okay. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope that you enjoyed this. If you have ideas on what the word halt might mean that I have not included, that rely upon the quotes of Forrest Fenn or his contextual meaning of the word halt, or if you'd like to discuss more about where warm waters halt as a more metaphoric phrase, then put that in the comments below, and I look forward to that. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.